Good evening, Erev Tov, and welcome to the Hong Kong Holocaust and Tolerance Center's special online commemoration for Yom HaShoah, Israel's Memorial Day for the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust. On this day, we honor the memory of all who were killed. We also remember the survivors, rescuers, and the liberators. HKHTC is committed to preserve the memory of the Holocaust so that it will never be forgotten. This is precisely why, despite the physical distances between us caused by COVID-19, we come together tonight here, online, and in solidarity with each other. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, people of all faiths and of none. We can transcend these distances in our shared commitment to memory and caring for each other. As we start our commemoration, we send our hopes and wishes to all who are affected by COVID-19, here in Hong Kong and Israel and around the world. COVID-19's extremely daunting health, social, and economic ramifications are increasingly apparent. Alarmingly, the virus has also yet again given rise to increased anti-Semitism, with Jews preposterously scapegoated by some as being responsible for what cannot be easily explained. This is the very type of societal sickness that formed the basis for the Holocaust. Amid COVID-19, terrible racism also continues to be directed against Chinese people and other Asians around the world. We strongly condemn hatred against all peoples, everywhere, and at all times. The world must remember what happened when humanity sank to its lowest depths and ensure that such an atrocity never, ever happens again. COVID-19 is also taking an awful toll on Holocaust survivors. Tragically, many who miraculously survived the death camps are not surviving the virus, and they are now among the most vulnerable. We are ever mindful of the dwindling number of survivors and wish them all strength and health to make it through this trying time. HKHTC has brought many survivors to Hong Kong. This January, we hosted the remarkable Eva Schloss, who survived Auschwitz. We are pleased to advise that Eva is healthy and well in London. She wants us to forward her warmest regards to all the wonderful people she met in Hong Kong and in Macau. Eva also asks that her important messages about tolerance and peace remain foremost in all of our minds. Tonight's Yom HaShoah commemoration consists of music, prayers, candle lightings dedicated to the Holocaust victims, poetry, and a very special statement by Israel's Consul General, Ahuva Spieler. We greatly appreciate your participation tonight, particularly at this very challenging time. Please join us now to reflect on this important 75th anniversary of the end of the Holocaust.
The Action in the Ghetto of Rohatyn, March 1942, by Polish Holocaust survivor Alexander Kimmel. Do I want to remember? The peaceful ghetto before the raid. Children shaking like leaves in the wind. Mothers searching for a piece of bread. Shadows on swollen legs, moving with fear. No, I don't want to remember. But how can I forget? Do I want to remember the creation of hell? The shouts of the raiders enjoying the hunt. Cries of the wounded begging for life. Faces of mothers carved with pain, hiding children dripping with fear. No, I don't want to remember. But how can I forget? Do I want to remember my fearful return? Families vanished in the midst of the day. The mass grave steaming with vapor of blood. Mothers searching for children in vain. The pain of the ghetto cuts like a knife. No, I don't want to remember. But how can I forget? Do I want to remember the wailing of the night? The doors kicked ajar, ripped feathers floating the air. The night scented with snow-melting blood, while the compassionate moon is showing the way for the faceless shadows, searching for kin. No, I don't want to remember, but I cannot forget. Do I want to remember this world upside down, where the departed are blessed with an instant death, while the living condemned to a short, wretched life, and a long, torturous journey into an unnamed place, converting living souls into ashes and gas? No, I have to remember, and never let you forget.
Candles are a symbol of life and a traditional component of Jewish remembrance rituals. They have a long history as memorial lights. The 6 candles we are lighting in tonight's commemoration represent the 6 million Jews murdered during the Shoah. These candles are lit in their memory and honor, and each candle has a special dedication. The first candle is for the victims of the ghettos.
מזמור לדוד. אדוני רואי לא אחסר בנות דשא ירביצני, עמי מנוחות ינהלני, נפשי ישובב. ינחני במעגלי צדק למען שמו, גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות לא ירא, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צוררי. ישנת ושמן ראשי כוסי רוויה, אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי. ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים.
The second candle is for the slave laborers who had to endure unspeakable hardship. The third candle is for the countless refugees and their families who were violently uprooted from their homes in terror and helplessness.
commemoration of Yom HaShoah this year, when public gatherings have been banned in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak worldwide, enable us to be creative in marking this event at this challenging time, but also allows us to reflect on some of the lessons learned from the Holocaust and how are they still relevant in the present. The first one to mention is loneliness and isolation. The Holocaust created extreme situation of isolation, social distancing, and forced solitude, much greater than we have to deal with these days. In order to survive, kids, teenagers, and adults were forced to hide in utter isolation, some of them for the entire duration of the war. Even today, regardless of the coronavirus, loneliness is the day-to-day occurrence of many of the survivors and the elderly. Human kindness. In times of extreme cruelty, alongside the horrors and brutality were driven from hate, ignorance, and racism, acts of extreme kindness and bravery will also register during the Second World War. Families, friends, and sometimes total strangers risked their lives and their family lives to save Jews. We call them the righteous among the nations. Circumstances are very different today, but human kindness and solidarity is needed nevertheless. The third point I would like to mention is hope in difficult time. Human spirit and the belief in human kindness were put to a test during the Holocaust. Evil, hatred, and cruelty lifted their ugly heads and the immediate dangers facing millions. Human strength, even in times of need, can be kept and needed to be cultivated and nurtured. This is our role today, in this time of crisis. Nothing will break us. Last but not least, racism and anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism was not invented in the Second World War, but Hitler and his Nazi followers have perfected it to an unbelievable extremism with a lot of propaganda and fake news. Fake news is just as dangerous today. We are confronted not only with the virus of the COVID-19, but also with the anti-Semitism virus, spread through fake news in social media platforms, circling the globe and threaten us. The COVID-19 pandemic demonstrates that all people, regardless of race, gender, and economic differences, are equal. But anti-Semitism is an irrational pathology. It doesn't bend to rational statements and facts. We must stay alert. To mark Holocaust Remembrance Day 2020, I would like to invite you to take part in Yad Vashem's international campaign, Remembering from Home. People from all ages and walks of lives are invited to record themselves reciting the names of Holocaust victims and share the video in social media using the hashtag Remembering from Home and Shoah names. Please check out the Consulate of Israel website for more information. To do this, we can all help to restore the identities and memory of the millions of Holocaust victims, men, women, and children. Thank you.
The fourth candle is for those who died on the transports and the death marches.
רשרוש של המים ברק השמיים תפילת האדם החול והים רשרוש של המים ברק השמיים השמיים תפילת האדם, החול והים רשמור של המים, ברק השמיים תפילת האדם.
The fifth candle is for the members of the partisans and the resistance.
זכרו נא וכוננו כל ישראל, קולכם יישמע ברמה, כי השמידה גרמניה את עמנו בימי זעם המלחמה, במיתות משונות אכזריות, ברעב ובצמא. אל תשכחו בכל הדורות, עדי תזכו לראות בנחמה. זעקו שמיים ואדמה על אלפי עיירות, מבצרי תורה, ארצות אירופה וקהילותיה, נוחלי ומקיימי מסורה. צדיקים, זקנים וחסידים, דבקי אמונה טהורה, מיום גלינו מארצנו, לא היה חזה כיליון נורא. רחם על שאריתנו, הבט נא משמיים, למחנות הקדושים, פי 10 כיוצאי מצרים. קומם בית קודשנו, ונחמנו בכפליים, רוממנו והביאנו לציון וירושלים.
The sixth candle is for the victims of the mass shootings, the extermination camps, and the concentration camps.
The 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Buchenwald, Dachau, Sachsenhausen, Mauthausen, Theresienstadt, and all those other names which scarred the conscience of mankind was going to be marked this year with large commemorations throughout the world. Since COVID-19 rendered those plans null, HKHTC felt all the more compelled to commemorate this year's Yom HaShoah. Indeed, we are continuing to do all we can, even in these difficult times, to advance Holocaust education and promote tolerance. And we are grateful for the support we receive from our generous donors, volunteers, and followers. You all make our work possible. We want to thank tonight's wonderful participants, Rabbi Oser and Rabbi Zemek, Cantor Ayel Ben-Or, Shai Tick, Hannah Davidson, Costel Pescu, the entire HKHTC team, and of course, Ahuva Spieler, the superb Council General of Israel, who is such a tireless and excellent supporter of all we do. As many of us have recently celebrated Pesach, or Passover, we want to close this evening with a different Manishtana. Why is this night different? It is because this year it is even more important than ever to remember. I hope that together with you kindly watching at home, we have at least partially succeeded in rising to that challenge. May tonight's words, music, prayers, and reflections help give us all the strength to always remember, and in these trying times, like the survivors who so deeply inspire us, to continue to hope. Thank you and good night.